Imagine standing at the edge of the Sahara Desert as the sun sinks into the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange, crimson, and gold. Behind you, an ancient city glows under lantern light, where winding alleys smell of spices, leather, and fresh mint tea. And to your left, the Atlantic Ocean crashes against rugged cliffs, sending sea spray into the warm air. Where else on earth could you find deserts, mountains, beaches, medieval cities, and bustling souks, yet still feel as if you've stepped into a living fairy tale? Welcome to Morocco. Morocco is not just a country, it's an experience, a kaleidoscope of cultures and landscapes that feels like the meeting point of different worlds. Africa, Europe, and the Middle East all converge here, leaving their fingerprints on everything from the architecture to the cuisine. It's a land where camels march across endless dunes, but just a few hours away, you can ski on snow-capped peaks. It's where blue-painted towns sparkle like gems against the mountains, and thousand-year-old medinas hum with the rhythm of life. And today, we're going to explore the wonders of Morocco, not just through its most famous sights, but also its hidden treasures and fascinating secrets that make it unlike anywhere else in the world. But before we dive into the 10 incredible places you must see in Morocco, let's start with a few fun, surprising facts that will set the stage. Fun facts about Morocco. Fact number 1. Morocco is home to the oldest university in the world. Long before Harvard or Oxford existed, the University of Al-Qarawiyyin was founded in the city of Fez in 859 AD, by a woman, Fatima al-Fihri. And guess what? It's still operating today. That means when you walk through Fez, you're walking through the heart of educational history. Fact number 2. You can ski in Morocco. Most people imagine Morocco as endless sand dunes, but the Atlas Mountains actually get heavy snow in winter. In fact, there are ski resorts like Essaouira near Marrakesh where travelers can glide down snowy slopes, and then, in the same day, ride a camel in the desert. Few countries can offer that kind of contrast. Fact number 3. Morocco has a city painted entirely in blue. The town of Chefchaouen isn't just pretty, it's almost unreal. Every wall, doorway, and street is coated in shades of blue. Some say it was painted by Jewish refugees in the 15th century to symbolize heaven and peace. Others believe the color keeps mosquitoes away. Whatever the reason, walking there feels like stepping into a dream. Fact number 4. Hollywood loves Morocco. From Gladiator to Game of Thrones to Inception, Morocco's landscapes have doubled as ancient Rome, fantasy kingdoms, and futuristic dreamscapes. Ouarzazate, often called the Hollywood of Africa, has some of the world's biggest movie studios. Fact number 5. Mint tea isn't just a drink, it's an art form. Moroccan mint tea, often called Berber whiskey, is more than a refreshment. It's a symbol of hospitality. The way it's poured, high above the glass so the tea foams, is almost theatrical. Saying no to tea in Morocco is nearly impossible, because it's as much about friendship as it is about taste. Fact number 6. Morocco touches both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. This gives the country a rare dual coastline personality, wild surf towns on one side, calm Mediterranean coves on the other. That's why Morocco's seafood dishes are some of the freshest you'll ever try. Place 1. Marrakesh, the city of 1,000 colors. If Morocco were a jewel, Marrakesh would be its fiery ruby, glowing with life and mystery. Known as the Red City, because of its rose-hued walls and buildings, Marrakesh is not just a destination, it's an atmosphere, an energy that grabs hold of you the second you arrive. Imagine entering Jima Elfna, the beating heart of Marrakesh, where life feels like a stage. Snake charmers sway to the tune of their flutes, street performers juggle fire, and storytellers captivate crowds with tales as old as the desert sands. The smell of sizzling kebabs mingles with sweet wafts of honey-soaked pastries. Lamps hang overhead, glowing like stars trapped in brass cages, casting shadows on narrow passageways where every turn reveals something new. But Marrakesh isn't just chaos, it's also peace. Step away from the crowded souks, and you'll find hidden riads, traditional Moroccan homes centered around serene courtyards with fountains and orange trees. The walls are tiled in intricate mosaics, geometric patterns so precise they seem almost mathematical. These riads tell the story of Morocco's blend of Islamic art, Andalusian influence, and North African soul. Then there are the gardens, like the famous Jardin Majorelle, once owned by French painter Jacques Majorelle and later by Yves Saint Laurent. Its cobalt blue walls contrast with green cacti and palms, creating a sanctuary that feels almost surreal. Marrakesh is also where modern and ancient Morocco collide. You can sip cocktails at a rooftop bar overlooking the Atlas Mountains, then wake up to the call to prayer echoing through centuries-old minarets. It's this duality, the vibrant, noisy bazaar and the calm, timeless corners, that makes Marrakesh unforgettable. For Americans used to orderly streets and predictable patterns, Marrakesh feels like stepping into a living canvas, every sound, every color, every aroma fighting for attention in the most beautiful way possible. Place 2. Chefchaouen, the blue pearl of Morocco. If Marrakesh is fire, then Chefchaouen is water. Nestled in the Rif Mountains, this little town is painted in every shade of blue imaginable. Picture yourself walking through winding alleys where the walls, doors, steps, even flower pots glow in shades of turquoise, indigo, and sky blue. It's like walking inside a dream, or maybe an artist's palette come to life. The origins of the blue are still debated. Some say Jewish refugees painted the town blue in the 15th century to symbolize the divine. Others say it was a way to ward off mosquitoes. But whatever the reason, the effect is pure magic. On sunny days, the whole town glows like a sapphire under the sky. On cloudy days, the blue seems even deeper, more mystical, like a painting brushed with emotion. But Chefchaouen isn't just about color, it's about peace. Unlike the bustling cities, this town has a slower rhythm. Locals sit in cafes sipping mint tea, watching the world go by. Artisans weave blankets in bold patterns, their looms clicking like heartbeat rhythms. And here's something few travelers realize. The blue town is surrounded by lush green mountains, waterfalls, and hiking trails. From the Spanish mosque perched above the city, you can watch the sunset drape the blue alleys in golden light, a sight so breathtaking, it feels like time pauses. For an American traveler, Chefchaouen feels like a secret escape, a place Instagram might capture but never truly explain. Because being there is less about seeing and more about feeling, a kind of tranquility that sinks into your bones. 3. Sahara Desert, the timeless ocean of sand. Now imagine leaving the mountains and stepping into the most iconic landscape of Morocco, the Sahara Desert. This isn't just sand, it's an ocean of dunes that stretches farther than the eye can see, changing color with the sun. At dawn, they glow pale pink. By midday, they burn gold. And at night, under the Milky Way, they turn into silver waves under a blanket of stars. One of the most unforgettable experiences in Morocco is riding a camel through these dunes. Each slow step feels like a rhythm from another era, a reminder of the ancient caravans that once crossed these sands carrying salt, gold, and stories. The silence of the desert is almost deafening, no cars, no chatter, just the whisper of wind sculpting the dunes. At night, desert camps come alive. Berber nomads play drums and sing songs around the fire, while travelers sit in awe under a sky so clear you can see shooting stars almost every few minutes. It's here that many visitors realize something profound. In the desert, stripped of noise and distraction, you feel both incredibly small and deeply connected to something infinite. But here's a lesser-known fact. Not all Sahara experiences are the same. Erg Chebbi and Erg Chagaga are two of the most famous dune fields. And while Erg Chebbi is easier to reach, for American viewers used to city lights dimming the stars, the Sahara offers something we rarely see back home: pure, unbroken darkness lit only by the cosmos. It's the kind of place that makes you rethink your place in the universe. Place 4. Fez, the city of secrets and scholars. If Marrakesh is Morocco's showman, then Fez is its philosopher, ancient, wise, and layered with secrets. Walking into Fez is like opening a history book that has come alive. Its Medina, Fez El Bali, is one of the largest car-free urban zones in the world, and once you step inside, you realize why. The streets are so narrow and winding that even a bicycle would struggle to get through. Donkeys, not cars, carry goods here, just as they have for centuries. But what makes Fez unforgettable isn't just its age, it's the sense of being suspended in time. Imagine standing on a rooftop terrace and looking out over a sea of honey-colored buildings, minarets rising like green-tiled spires, smoke curling from chimneys where families cook traditional tagines. Beneath that view lies a labyrinth of 9,000 alleyways, each one leading to something surprising: a hidden mosque, a centuries-old tannery, a spice shop where the air tastes like saffron and cumin. Speaking of tanneries, Essaouira Tannery is one of the most iconic sights of Fez. From above, you'll see giant stone vats filled with colorful dyes: reds, yellows, blues, all spread out like an artist's palette. Workers stand knee-deep in these vats, dyeing leather by hand in the same way their ancestors did over 1,000 years ago. The smell is intense, but so is the history. These techniques haven't changed since medieval times. And then there's Al-Qarawiyyin, the world's oldest university, founded in 859 AD. Think about that for a moment. When Europe was still in the Dark Ages, scholars were debating philosophy, astronomy, and medicine in Fez. Some of the manuscripts housed here shaped the course of global knowledge. Place 5. Essaouira, the ocean's song. Now let's leave the inland cities behind and head west, to the edge of the Atlantic. Welcome to Essaouira, a coastal town where the ocean seems to sing. Unlike the chaos of Marrakesh or the mystery of Fez, Essaouira is laid back, breezy, and effortlessly cool. As you approach, you'll see whitewashed walls, blue-painted doors, and ramparts that look out over crashing waves. Seagulls circle overhead, fishermen haul in their daily catch, and the salty air mixes with the aroma of grilled sardines. The town feels both Moroccan and Mediterranean, a blend shaped by centuries of trade and cultural exchange. Essaouira is famous for its winds. They blow almost constantly, which is why it's often called the Wind City of Africa. These winds made it a tough place for large-scale tourism, but they also turned it into a paradise for windsurfers and kitesurfers. Watching colorful sails dance against the blue horizon is like watching an ocean ballet. But beyond the sports, Essaouira has soul. Its medina is smaller and calmer than those of Marrakesh or Fez, but filled with art galleries, music shops, and local craft stalls. Bob Marley once spent time here, and the town has long attracted artists and free spirits from around the world. Every summer, the Nawa World Music Festival transforms Essaouira into a stage where African, Moroccan, and international rhythms blend under the stars. And here's a fun surprise. The nearby argan forests are home to goats that climb trees, yes, real goats perched high on branches, munching on argan fruit. It's one of those sights that make you laugh in disbelief until you see it yourself. For American travelers, Essaouira feels like a coastal secret, part beach town, part art haven, part historic port. It's the kind of place you go for a weekend and end up staying for weeks. Place 6. The Atlas Mountains, where Earth touches the sky. Now, from the sea, let's climb into the sky. The Atlas Mountains cut across Morocco like a backbone, stretching from the Atlantic all the way into Algeria. They are wild, majestic, and endlessly varied, offering everything from snow-capped peaks to lush valleys and tiny Berber villages. One of the most striking things about the Atlas is how close it feels to different worlds. Just a couple of hours from the bustling streets of Marrakesh, you can find yourself in landscapes that look like Switzerland, alpine meadows, cool streams, and forests of cedar and oak. In winter, Okamden transforms into a ski resort, and yes, you can ski in Africa, then drive down to the desert on the same day. But the Atlas is more than scenery, it's about people. The Berbers, or Amazigh, have lived in these mountains for thousands of years. Visiting a Berber village is like stepping into a world of resilience and tradition. Homes are made of clay and stone, blending with the earth. Hospitality is sacred. You'll almost always be offered mint tea and bread baked in clay ovens. For hikers, the Atlas offers endless adventure. Mount Toubkal, the highest peak in North Africa, towers at over 13,600 feet. Reaching its summit is not just a physical challenge, it's a journey into the heart of Morocco's spirit. From the top, you see the desert stretching south and the green valleys rolling north, a reminder of Morocco's astonishing contrasts. But perhaps the most magical part of the Atlas is the way it reveals silence. High up in the valleys, far from city lights, you can sit by a stream and hear nothing but wind in the trees and the distant sound of goat bells. It's the kind of silence that modern life rarely gives us anymore. For Americans, who often see mountains as destinations for tourism, Colorado skiing, Appalachian trails, the Atlas Mountains feel raw and authentic. They're not just for recreation, they're for life, survival, and connection. Place 7. Ait Benhaddou, the living movie set. Imagine a fortress city rising out of the desert, its earthen walls glowing golden under the Moroccan sun. From a distance, it looks almost unreal, like something built for a Hollywood blockbuster. But Ait Benhaddou is no movie prop. This ancient Ksar, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, has been standing here for centuries, guarding the caravan route that once connected the Sahara with Marrakesh. As you approach, you'll see layers of mud brick kasbahs stacked on a hill, connected by winding alleys and archways. It's a maze of towers and courtyards, frozen in time. Walking through Ait Benhaddou feels like traveling back to the Middle Ages, when traders brought salt, spices, and even slaves across the desert to sell in bustling Moroccan markets. But here's what makes Ait Benhaddou legendary: its cinematic presence. This place has been the backdrop for Gladiator, Lawrence of Arabia, Game of Thrones, and dozens of other films. Directors love it because it doesn't need special effects, it already looks like another world. Yet despite its fame, life continues here. A handful of families still live within its walls, fetching water from wells and keeping traditions alive. And when you climb to the top, you're rewarded with a panoramic view of the desert stretching endlessly, a reminder of why this fortress was built in the first place: to watch over the horizon, to survive. For an American audience, Ait Benhaddou feels familiar because they've probably seen it on screen, yet visiting it reveals how much richer reality is than cinema. The silence, the texture of the walls, the heat radiating from the earth, you can't feel that through a TV. You have to be there. Place 8. Casablanca, the modern pulse of Morocco. Most travelers come to Morocco chasing history, mountains, and deserts. But Casablanca is different. It's Morocco's cosmopolitan heart, a city that pulses with modern energy while still holding on to tradition. If Marrakesh is old-world magic, Casablanca is Morocco's future. For most Americans, the word Casablanca instantly conjures up images of the classic 1942 film. But here's the twist: the movie wasn't even filmed in Morocco, it was shot entirely in Hollywood. And yet, the name has forever tied this city to romance and intrigue. In reality, Casablanca is Morocco's largest city, a bustling hub of business, fashion, and art. Its skyline is filled with modern glass towers, but look closer and you'll find Art Deco buildings that hint at its French colonial past. Along the Corniche, the Atlantic waves crash against seaside promenades lined with cafes and clubs, a reminder that Morocco isn't frozen in history, it's moving forward. But Casablanca's crown jewel is the Hassan II Mosque, one of the largest mosques in the world. Built partly over the ocean, it looks like it's floating on water. Its minaret rises 689 feet into the sky, the tallest in the world. And inside, the craftsmanship is breathtaking: marble floors, intricate mosaics, cedar wood carved with astonishing detail. What's especially remarkable is that unlike many mosques, parts of the Hassan II Mosque are open to non-Muslim visitors, allowing travelers to experience its spiritual and architectural grandeur firsthand. Casablanca isn't always love at first sight. It's busy, noisy, modern, but it's also real. For Americans, who might think of Morocco only as exotic markets and deserts, Casablanca offers a glimpse of a country that is not just living in its past but also shaping its future. Place 9. The hidden oases, Morocco's desert gardens. Now let's return to the desert, but this time not for endless dunes. Imagine traveling through barren, rocky landscapes for hours, heat shimmering, the air dry and silent, and then suddenly, like a mirage, a lush green paradise appears. Palm trees sway, water flows in small streams, gardens flourish with figs, pomegranates, and dates. This is an oasis. Morocco is dotted with them, hidden jewels that have sustained life in the harsh desert for centuries. One of the most famous is the Dra Valley, stretching for miles with palm groves and kasbahs along the riverbanks. Walking through these oases feels like entering a secret world, a reminder of how precious water is in such a dry land. The oases aren't just about nature, they're about culture. Villages here thrive on ancient irrigation systems called qataras, underground canals that channel water for farming. These techniques are centuries old yet still effective, a lesson in sustainability that feels incredibly relevant today. And here's something few travelers know: during certain times of the year, these oases explode with festivals. In Urfoud, for example, the date festival celebrates the harvest with music, dancing, and competitions for the best dates, sweet fruits that have been lifelines in the desert diet for ages. For an American traveler, visiting a Moroccan oasis feels like stepping into the stories of childhood, those tales of hidden valleys in the desert, of secret gardens where life persists against all odds. It's a reminder that even in the harshest places, beauty and survival find a way. Place 10. Tangier, the gateway between worlds. There are cities in the world that feel like crossroads, and Tangier is one of them. Perched on the northern tip of Morocco, where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Mediterranean Sea, Tangier has always been a gateway, a threshold between Africa and Europe, east and west, old and new. Standing on Tangier's coastline, you can actually see Spain across the Strait of Gibraltar, just 9 miles away. For centuries, this narrow passage has carried traders, explorers, soldiers, and dreamers between continents. And Tangier has absorbed them all. The city is a patchwork of cultures: Moroccan, Spanish, French, even American. In the mid-20th century, Tangier became an international zone, attracting artists, writers, and bohemians. Paul Bowles wrote here. The Rolling Stones found inspiration here, and countless painters tried to capture its shifting light. But beyond the legends, Tangier has its own heartbeat. The Medina is a maze of whitewashed walls and bustling souks, where merchants sell everything from spices to hand-woven carpets. The Kasbah, perched high above the city, offers sweeping views of the sea, a reminder of Tangier's role as a watchtower of civilizations. Down at the harbor, ferries come and go, carrying travelers across to Spain and back. The cafes along the waterfront buzz with energy, men sipping espresso, artists sketching, travelers planning their next move. Tangier is both Moroccan and international, rooted yet restless, always looking outward. And just outside the city lies the legendary Caves of Hercules. According to myth, this is where the great hero Hercules rested after his labors. Inside, the cave opens to the sea in a shape that looks remarkably like the outline of Africa, a natural wonder that feels symbolic, as if reminding us where we are, at the very edge of a continent. For an American traveler, Tangier feels almost cinematic, like a place where spy novels are set, where every alley could hide a story. It's Morocco's frontier city, a bridge that whispers of journeys yet to come. And so our journey across Morocco comes to an end. We've wandered through the fiery colors of Marrakesh, the dreamlike blues of Chefchaouen, the infinite sands of the Sahara, the scholarly alleys of Fez, the breezy rhythms of Essaouira, the towering silence of the Atlas Mountains, the cinematic walls of Ait Benhaddou, the modern pulse of Casablanca, the life-giving oases of the desert, and the gateway of Tangier. But Morocco is not just a list of places. It is an experience, one that engages all your senses at once. The taste of mint tea, poured high into a glass. The call to prayer echoing at sunset across ancient rooftops. The sight of 1,000 stars burning bright above the desert. The feel of a Berber rug woven by hand, carrying the stories of a family. The smell of saffron, leather, and sea air mingling together. Morocco is contrasts, chaos and calm, past and present, tradition and modernity. It is Africa, but it is also Europe and the Middle East. It is a country that defies a single definition because it is many things at once: a bridge, a mosaic, a living storybook. Because here, in this land of colors and contrasts, the journey is not about ticking off landmarks, it's about being transformed. So if you ever find yourself standing on a rooftop in Marrakesh, or watching the sun set over the Sahara, or sipping tea in a blue-painted alley of Chefchaouen, take a moment. Look around. Listen. Let Morocco speak to you. Because this is a country that doesn't just show you its beauty, it invites you to feel it, to carry it with you long after you leave. And that is the true wonder of Morocco.